Hey, what's up, everybody? Pardon me while I check something real quick. I got to make sure all my stuff is turned off here because we're doing a show this morning. Hey, how are you guys? This is your morning mojo. It's just a little dose of positivity and fun things to get your day kicked off right. It is Tuesday. We're almost at the end of July, y'all. Can you believe that? July is almost in the history books, and I don't know where you are in this great, wonderful, wide world of ours, and whether you're watching on the YouTubes or on the Facebook, or even if you're on LinkedIn. I mean, we're going all kinds of places here. Or if you're watching the rerun later on the TikTok, dude, I finally got on and I know y'all. It's listen. I'm not that old, but it is funny because I still kind of like to talk like the old people do, and I say the Facebook and the TikTok. So, anyway, just wanted to let you guys know it's another beautiful day, and we're glad that you're here on the Morning Mojo. I'm very, very glad to see you. I hope that wherever you are, that things are going good for you. Things are going well for you. I hope you woke up today and said, "Oh my gosh, hot damn, it's another day. I'm up." And let me tell you something. If you're on this side of the dirt, it's another chance. Congratulations, you made it. And yes, I know that depending on where you are in the US of A, it is probably hot. It is hot in the Mid South. I am in Nashville, Tennessee. And, I woke up this morning and it was already 80 degrees. Hey, it's okay. I'm sure you guys in Arizona, I'm sure that you guys are probably all kind of like looking at me going, really? 80? Yeah, I know. I know. But trust me, here in the Mid South, like pretty much from about Tennessee straight on down, there's more water in the air than air. Okay. That's humidity is like faux real. So, anyway, that's not what I was here to talk to you about this morning. Here's what we do on the Morning Mojo. Here's what we try to do, give you a little bit of positivity and maybe a little something to think about today, something to think about as you go about your day. So, um, since I started this endeavor back in 2018, 19-ish, and it's gone through three different names. It used to be called the Yo Bro Show, and I've gone through several different sort of iterations of this Facebook and YouTube channel, and I've been through a lot of reinvention myself. Oh, what's that? Oh, hold on. There's a kitty cat trapped in the bathroom. Just a moment. Y'all, hold on. Live TV. Here we go. The joys of live television. I love it. Yep, kitty cat trapped in the bathroom. Um, Not sure how she got in there, but the door was closed. I'll worry about that later. Anyway, um, here's what's going on with me. And I'm only sharing this with you not to tell you, hey, yay, me. No, I'm sharing this with you because I'm just telling you guys, I'm an idiot. Okay. If you don't believe there's a God, trust me, there's a God, because otherwise, there's no other explanation for how an idiot like me could have done as well as I have for as long as I have. So, anyway, that's a whole, that's actually the point of what we're going to talk about today. Hang on a second. Let me just see who all's in the chat and then I'll get going here. Hey, Yaya D, good morning. Hi, Jolinda. Hey, Mohammed, thanks for joining, bud. I'm glad to see you on the YouTube there, man. So here's the deal. Um, I'm writing a new chapter. Oh, I know. You're like, oh God, this guy's starting over again. Yeah, I am. I'm starting over again. But here's the thing. Do you guys believe that they're like you're writing your own book of your life? And if you don't think of it that way, maybe you should. I mean, my question would be, what's the title? I'm working on mine, but what's the title of your book? The book of your life. So later on, and I know I don't want to start talking about mortality because the closer I get to past that midway point, I mean, I'm 56. The odds are pretty good. Unless I live to 112, I'm past the midway point, okay? I'm not going to dwell on my mortality. But when you think about when you're gone, some people say, what do you want written on your tombstone? Okay, let's face it. Everybody's tombstone might have something catchy, but for the most part, it's two dates. And that dash in between, as I've heard so many people talk about, is where you live for, that dash between the two dates. I decided to start thinking about this because I do love writing. I started thinking about this several years back, and that is, what's the title of my book going to be? Well, I want you to start thinking about that. You're in the middle of your book right now. I know you probably didn't know it, but you're in the middle right now of writing the book of your life. And let me tell you, it is absolutely without a doubt. The pages when you woke up this morning, all these other pages are filled out. No matter what chapter you're on, no matter how many pages you are into your book, what's back there has all been written. You woke up this morning to a blank page, and guess what? All the pages ahead of this one are blank. Now, if you're like me, you have a lot of faith, you know that God's got a plan. That's great. God does have a plan, but He also gave you sentient thought. He gave you independent thought. You've got the pen. You got a blank page in front of you for you to fill out however you want to. And not only do you have one, but you've got one for all the rest of the days of your life. What are you going to put on those blank pages? So, my encouragement to you here today is this. So, I'm 56 years old. I have been married twice. I've had three separate, pretty sizable careers. And a couple of months ago, after several jaunts into corporate America and building a really nice career, I walked. I walked because I looked at the blank pages that I had left between now and the end of my life, and I decided I'm going to write a different story. I'm going to say what I've got in front of me is a blank page, and I'm going to write what's on there. Now, listen, I'm not telling you to quit your job, okay? You guys have heard me say before, not everybody is wired to be able to plug in and do the same thing every day for 8 hours a day. I mean, that's great. If that is you, that's awesome. I'm not telling you quit your job. For me, the way I'm wired, once I truly became aware of how I'm wired and I started really evaluating my life, I realized I needed to grab that pen and I needed to start writing these next chapters instead of having them written for me. So you've got the pen, you've got a bunch of blank pages. It doesn't matter how old you are. The first time I started my life over, I was 27 years old. I had graduated college, check, and I ran off and joined a band because I wanted to be a rock star. And I spent a few years, yeah, with a thank. He's like, "Thanks for the degree, guys." And I just kind of rolled it up and put it in my backpack, and I grabbed my bass guitar and I ran off and I joined a band because I was going to be a rock star. And I spent several years with a band. Well, I'm the only idiot that ever left Nashville to get in the music business. I moved to Macon, Georgia, my second home. Shout out to Bibb County. Uh, but and I built a life there. And the only thing I can tell you is that I learned a lot of lessons, not the least of which was at least I know I didn't starve. That's the biggest thing. I did not starve, but I got to play music. I did. And when that kind of ended, as these things end, um, all I can say is I found myself with my first genuine morning where I woke up and went, now what? I've got to start over. So I started over. And this is where my wife hates it when I say this, but that's when I cut my hair and sold out to the man. Well, I will tell you, cutting your hair and selling out to the man is nice. I'm not going to lie. Going from being in a van with a bunch of guys and, barely making beer money and, going from town to town playing in bars to having a place to sit every day and work and have a steady paycheck. Hey, I'm not going to lie. That was great. But it set me off on a path that I wasn't supposed to be on. It set me off on a path that I never once thought twice. I just kind of said, this is the easiest thing to do. This was the path that had been laid out for me by others. This is what you're supposed to do. Great. You had fun. Awesome. Patted me on the head. Now, boom, now get in there to play. And I jumped on this corporate path. And this is the thing you do. And then I started having kids. Would not trade anything for my children. What my idea? Doesn't matter. This is one of those places where God takes care of you. Because I got married, started having kids. Wasn't my plan, wasn't my idea. Worked out great. Marriage did not work out great. Kept the kids, lost the wife. She and I we get along great, by the way. There's a whole other, I'll talk to you all about forgiveness and stuff like that later. But, so there's the first time. Next time I jumped right into another marriage that I wasn't ready for. And I spent the next 8 years in a roller coaster. That's when a lot of you guys met me. That's when the show started. I had long hair, looked like I just left the Duck Dynasty set. And I was still doing the corporate thing, but I regained music in my life. I started doing music again. Anyway, so there's another reinvention, and that's just the last 10 years, y'all. Well, last 15 or so years. So what I'm telling you is no matter where you're at, no matter where you are, every day is the beginning of a new chapter that you've got the pen for. It's never too late to start over. I found a quote that I absolutely love, and since I like writing, this is appropriate too because this is C.S. Lewis. So he wrote The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and some other fantasy stuff. But he also wrote a lot of pretty heavy theological nonfiction. But I love this. He said, "Look, you cannot change. You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending." So my encouragement to you is wherever you are right now, this is what I want you to kind of lean into. Wherever you are right now, you still have an opportunity to write the next chapter, but you have to be deliberate about it. Maybe quit letting things happen to you. Sometimes, okay, time out. Sometimes you can't help where you're at. Sometimes that new chapter gets thrown at you. You're not expecting the death of a parent. You're not expecting maybe a divorce. You're not expecting to lose your job. That's happened to me twice. You're not expecting that next chapter all the time. But what you can do is say, okay, what I've just been given is a blank page, and all the pages after it are blank. What are you going to put there? So my challenge to you today is let's be deliberate about writing the rest of the story of our lives. Every day is a blank page. What are you going to put on that blank page? There are no real rules. There are no limitations. If you can dream it, you can become it. I've heard so many people say that. I've always thought it was crap until I've met some people that I'm scratching my head. I'm gonna tell you right now, and we're gonna do a deeper dive into this at some point. But Joe Linda, who's on here with us, Joe Linda and I are gonna do a podcast maybe on a Friday. I want y'all to hear what Joe Linda's got to say. Joe Linda reinvented her life. I think she was 51 years old, completely reinvented her life and became a nurse. She felt the calling and she jumped into it, and it wasn't easy. But I think that based upon she and I talking, I would think that she would tell you it looked impossible. It looked impossible at the time that she was starting it. It seemed like an insurmountable task, but she jumped in and she did it, and now she's doing it. So I guess my question next is, what's your excuse? You're always, always, always one decision away from a completely different life. So is life happening to you? Are you letting somebody hand you a book with blank pages and then sitting around just waiting for them to say, and and sh- and he went to work, he clocked in, he clocked out, he had a beer, he went to bed. Boom. Is that what you want your day to look like? If you don't want that, then it's time to take charge of those pages and grab the pen. God put everything you need in you, not to merely survive this life, but to thrive. It's true. I know the world's big and dark right now in certain aspects, and I know that it's very scary, but the one thing you can always control is where your feet go, what you do next, the actions that you take. And I'm telling you, you've got the pen, you've got a book in front of you with blank pages, and we don't know how many pages there are. So you better get to writing. There you go. I hope I made my point. We'll see. We'll see. I would love some comments from you guys, man. I would love to hear from some of you guys. Even if you're watching this later and you didn't catch us live, I would love to hear from some of you guys. Maybe some big decisions that you've made if you feel like sharing, or message me. Message me if you've got something that you want to share. Message me. I would love to hear it. And maybe Joe Linda and I are gonna we're gonna do kind of an interview podcast kind of thing. I haven't figured out Joe Linda. I haven't figured out exactly when yet, but at some point we'll figure it out. But I would love to have a lot of you guys come on, and I want to talk to some regular folks who've made big changes. I would love to hear some of your stories. So send me a direct message, put it in the chat. I promise I'll see it. So for those of you who are new, maybe one of the things that you do need to know, one thing that you guys do need to know is that every day on the Morning Mojo, I'm here to pump you guys up. I want to give you something to think about. This is how I'm wired. This is one of the changes I made in my life was I kind of stepped away from this, and this is how I'm wired as a human being. So I'm stepping back into it. So, whether there's one of you guys, 20 of you guys, hey, one morning I had like 60. It was crazy. Whatever it is, however many people are on here, my job is just to kind of give you a little something to think about and give you some positives, give you a little positive energy. That's your mojo. I'm giving you your morning mojo. But possibly most importantly is everybody, before we get out of here, I'm going to pray for you. So if you're not religious Or maybe if you don't, I worship, I'm a Christian, I worship God and I believe in Jesus. I do believe that the power of prayer does work. But if that's not you, that's cool. I don't want to offend you. Thank you for watching. If you want to hop off, that is cool. But if you would like to stay, I just want you to know that no matter what else happens today, somebody's praying for you. And I'm about to do that for you right now. God, I thank you so much for everybody that's on here this morning and all the people who will watch us later on. God, I do thank you for the technology that allows me to reach folks all around the world. And God, I just hope that it's not my voice, but your voice that people hear. God, thank you for the blank pages that are in front of us. God, we know we all want to see our name in the book of life that ultimately we'll see on our last day, but I know that you put in front of us a desire to write those pages ourselves while we are here. So, God, help each of us tap into that thing that you put into each of us, whatever that thing is that you've put into us that can inspire us to move forward and to change where we are right now. And God, I thank you that no matter where we are in our lives, that there is hope. Every day is a new day. God, I thank you for giving us that opportunity. God, I thank you for community, the folks that are on here. And Lord, I just hope that you will help me speak life into these people's lives and help everybody understand we are not go through life together. We're all in this together. God, I pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. There we go. That is your morning mojo. Guys, thank you for joining. If you think somebody needs a little jolt of energy, or maybe somebody just needs a little inspiration, please feel free to follow my page, the Charging Station on Facebook, the Charging Station channel on the YouTube, Rock This Life with Trey on TikTok. I know it sounds weird, but I'm all about just posting positive content, putting up a lot of positive memes and things like that. And it's only going to, guys, it's only going to get worse. I'm a man on a mission, and currently I don't have a job. So this is like kind of my only job at the moment. So cheers. Everybody have a great day. And if you forget everything else, my buddy, Pastor Chris and I both, we can't remember who came up with it first. I think it was me, but I love you. God loves you. And there's nothing you can do about it. Peace.